Ever looked back and thought, what if? We're diving into the crazy world of football, where some big names slip through the cracks. Academy doors closed, but destiny had other plans. Let's see. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up before we dive in. Alright, number 1. Ben White. Ben White, the lad who got the boot from Southampton. Can you believe it? This guy spent 8 years pouring his heart into the club, only to be shown the exit door at 16. Southampton thought they had too many players in Ben's position, but boy, did they miss the mark. Ben, bless his soul, felt the sting of rejection hard. I mean, who wouldn't, right? His mum had to console him on the quiet ride home, questioning if he even wanted to keep chasing his football dreams. Can you imagine the uncertainty? But here's where the story takes a glorious turn. Ben didn't let that setback define him. Nah, he dusted himself off and set out on a journey that would leave everyone speechless. Ben White, despite getting the boot, didn't just sit around moping. Nah, he used that rejection as rocket fuel to propel himself to greatness. The lad didn't give up. He doubled down on his dreams. Brighton's academy saw his potential and scooped him up after Southampton's blunder. But it was his stint with Leeds that really put him on the map. Marcelo Bielsa's squad is fighting tooth and nail for that Premier League promotion, and who's right there in the thick of it? Yup, Ben White. And then boom! Arsenal came knocking, and Ben didn't disappoint. Number 2. Jamie Vardy. A young lad is grinding away at his local club, Sheffield Wednesday, dreaming of making it big. But then, out of the blue, they drop the bombshell. Jamie's out. Why, you ask? Oh, because they thought he was too short and scrawny to cut it in the big leagues. Can you believe it? Talk about a punch to the gut. Jamie, bless his heart, took a breather from the beautiful game, even clocking in at a carbon fiber factory called True Life. But did he stay down for long? Not a chance. After a short hiatus, he's back on the pitch, this time with the Stocksbridge Park Steels, a non-league outfit, and from there it's just growth. Halifax, Fleetwood, and suddenly Leicester City comes knocking. At the ripe old age of 25, they took a gamble on him, and it did pay off. Number 3. Nick Pope. Meet Nick Pope, the goalkeeper who refused to let rejection define him. Can you imagine being just 16, dreaming of representing your beloved club, only to have them kick you to the curb? Yup, that was Nick's reality when Ipswich Town gave him the boot. But did he let that setback keep him down? Absolutely not. Nick faced the disappointment head-on, acknowledging that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't quite up to scratch for Ipswich. Another goalie swooped in from Norway, stealing the spotlight and leaving Nick in the dust. Ouch, right? But instead of wallowing in self-pity, Nick rolled up his sleeves and got to work. He hit the books, studying business marketing at West Suffolk College, all while juggling a gig as a part-time milkman. But deep down, that fire for football never died. And guess what? Fate had bigger plans for him. With the help of West Suffolk College's connections, he found himself back on the pitch, this time with non-league club Berrytown. But that was just the beginning of his rise. From Berrytown to Charlton, and then, after a string of loans, he landed at Burnley in 2016. And let me tell you guys, Nick proved himself, solidifying his spot as Burnley's go-to goalie for a whopping 6 years. But wait, it gets even better. In 2022, Newcastle came knocking, offering Nick the chance of a lifetime. Number 4. Declan Rice. Chelsea, the powerhouse of English football, lets go of a gem like Declan Rice. Yup, you heard that right. This midfield maestro spent a whopping 8 years honing his skills in Chelsea's academy, dreaming of one day wearing the iconic blue jersey. But alas, it wasn't meant to be. At the tender age of 14, Chelsea dropped the bombshell, leaving poor Declan in the dust. And what were the reasons, you ask? Well, 'cause they're a mix of head-scratchers and heartbreakers. From being labelled physically weaker than his peers, to the frustration of being shuffled around different positions, Declan just couldn't seem to find his footing. And if that wasn't enough, the imminent arrival of another young defender sent from Brahmapoikarna, Joseph Colley, was like the final nail in the coffin. Just 3 short years after being shown the exit door, he's strutting onto the Premier League stage, this time wearing the iconic claret and blue of West Ham United. But that's not even the best part. Declan's rise didn't stop there. Nope, he went on to lead West Ham's charge to glory, captaining them to European Conference League victory. And just when you thought his story couldn't get any sweeter, along comes Arsenal, waving a contract in his face. And he did make them pay up. In 2023, Declan Rice became the most expensive English transfer ever in the Premier League, solidifying his status as the cream of the crop in defensive midfield. Chelsea, the very club that let him slip through their fingers, have the audacity to claim they don't regret their decision. Yeah, right. We all saw how desperately they were chasing him last summer. Number 5. Andrew Robertson. Meet Andrew Robertson, a lad born with a passion for Celtic Football Club coursing through his veins. A young lad dreaming of gracing the hallowed turf of Celtic Park, basking in the cheers of 60,000 roaring fans. But alas, fate had other plans. Just when Andrew was riding high on his Celtic dreams, the worst happened. He got the boot from Celtic's under-15 team, all because he was deemed too small to make the cut. Can you imagine the heartbreak? Andrew felt the sting of rejection like a dagger to the heart. But did he let that setback define him? Not a chance. In an interview, he bared his soul, admitting that the day he got released was one of the toughest of his life. Tears were shed, sure, but surrounded by the love of his family, he found the strength to pick himself up and move on. Now guys, let me tell you, being knocked down at such a tender age could either make you or break you. And in Andrew's case, well, let's just say he chose to let it fuel his fire. Instead of letting rejection crush his dreams, he did what any true warrior would do. He dusted himself off and got back in the game. But it was at Hull City where he truly started to sparkle, catching the keen eye of none other than Liverpool. Number 6. Joao Felix. Young Joao Felix, born and bred in the heart of Portugal, dreams of making it big at Porto. For 7 long years, he poured his heart and soul into the famed Porto Academy, only to be told he didn't have what it takes to hack it at the top level. Classic academy excuse, am I right? Porto's loss turned out to be Benfica's golden ticket. Joao Felix joined Benfica in 2015, and boy, did he hit the ground running. From tearing it up in the youth team to making waves in the senior squad, he became the talk of the town. I'm talking 20 goals in his debut season, folks, helping Benfica snatch that coveted title. And as if that wasn't enough, during the 2018-19 season, only Kai Havertz and Jadon Sancho scored more goals than him in all of Europe. But wait, here's where it gets truly mind-blowing. Out of the blue, Atletico Madrid comes swooping in, flashing a cool 126 million euros to bring him over to La Liga. Not too shabby for a lad who got the boot from Porto's academy, right? Also, didn't Porto say he was too short back then? Well, guess what? Now he's standing tall at 5'11", towering over all their wingers. Finally, number 7, Frank Ribery. Just like the others, a young lad with dreams of football glory started off in the Lille youth setup, eyes gleaming with the promise of a bright future. Fate had other plans. At just 16, they slammed the door shut on him, citing bad behavior. Ouch, talk about a blow to the ego. But did Frank let that setback keep him down? Absolutely not. With grit and determination coursing through his veins, he rolled up his sleeves and plunged into the lower leagues. First stop, Boulogne in the 4th division, where he poured his heart and soul into every game. His relentless work ethic caught the eye of scouts, eventually earning him a move to League One with Metz in 2004. And from there, well, the rest is history. Spells with Galatasaray and Marseille paved the way for his ultimate destiny, Bayern Munich. It was in Germany that Frank Ribery truly soared, basking in the glow of 9 Bundesliga titles and a coveted Champions League trophy over the span of 12 glorious years. Anyways, what do you guys think? Do you happen to know any other footballers who fought through similar struggles to fight their way into the game? Do drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll meet again in the next episode. Until then, see ya!